Well, how you guys doing this morning?
Doing all right, man. How are you
All
doing,
right.
buddy?
It's always fun to have interviews first thing in the morning, right?
Yeah, well, it's not that
for sure.
early. It's, yeah,
Yeah.
what do you mean? It's not first thing. It's at 30.
Hey, in rock and roll, 10:30 is pretty early.
Yeah, it's
Well, we haven't gone to bed yet.
Yeah. True. Uh, so Nick, first of all, you're not the same Nick that's into mob gambling in Tampa, right?
No, that's not me. No.
All right, just wanted to make sure that I'm not getting in trouble.
Yeah.
I don't want to be on a hit list or anything.
And I'm not the pasta.
Yeah, that I figured. That was pretty simple.
Good.
But I've heard that you're a pretty good dish, though. Gotta say.
Not bad. It tastes pretty good. That's the league.
So welcome to Montreal Rocks. I wanted to introduce you all to Northern Rain, who's a rock band from Maple, Ontario.
Yeah.
First of all, every superhero has a backstory. And I think this is a little bit more for Anthony because of your background. I want to go back to your roots, where kind of music took a hold on you. I wanted you to picture yourself at home.
Okay.
You're a young child. Your dad is banging on the drums. That's his instrument. What's going through your mind? Do you want to join him? What was a trigger that made you make up your mind that music was going to be your life?
Wow, that's a good one. I think it had a lot to do with the fact that my dad played. And I think it had a lot to do with like watching his band play when I was young. Because I remember when his band would play like the local rib fests in Toronto and whatever, I would go watch and I thought it was the coolest thing. And I remember being maybe 10, 11 years old. And I won like at like the fair, like the rib fest, like one of those games, I won like a blow up guitar and they had me on stage with a blow up guitar. I thought it was the sickest thing. So then the next year I finally learned to play and I finally went on stage and played with them. So that had a lot to do with it. I mean, it was always around. My family's just a musical family to begin with anyway, between my dad, my uncles, and you know, just everybody like involved in my family, they're all big into music. So it was hard to get away from it. I feel like if I did get into music, I'd have to like go out of my way to ignore it essentially. So I mean, that did have a lot to do with it. But I mean, you know, music in general, when you're a young kid and you hear like, I remember hearing AC/DC for the first time and thinking it was like just the coolest thing. I just like, you know, you're 10 years old and you just want to get into like a fist fight because you just hear AC/DC gets you so amped up, right? So,
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That was my first album. For those about to rock.
My first CD, actually, my first CD I bought was Heaven and Hell by Black Sabbath. But then my second CD was Dirty Deeds AC/DC. And then the rest of the AC/DCs from there on in and so on and so forth.
What about you, Nick? What got you into music? I don't think your family was into music as much as.
No, you know what? No, honestly, what got me into music? I don't know. My dad's always playing like cool records and stuff when I was a kid, but what made me want to play guitar and get like play, I don't know. It's probably seeing Slash.
Yeah.
Like the first time I saw Slash, I thought that guy was the coolest guy I've ever seen, and I'm like, I kind of want to do that. And there was not much to it actually. I just picked up. My dad had an old guitar actually. He used to play, but he never played in front of me. I don't think he knows how to play anymore. But he had like an old like classical guitar in
He
his
was a
basement.
closet player.
He was a closet player. And I guess I started screwing around on that for a bit, and I just loved it. But not too much the backstory, no.
What I found interesting is that, well, you mentioned AC/DC, Anthony, and you're kind of known for getting at the front of the stage for all these big shows. Your Instagram shows you close up for the Rolling Stones, AC/DC, Slash. What did you learn from seeing these icons close up?
I beg your pardon?
What did you learn from seeing these icons close up?
I just, you know what, you just learn to appreciate them more. Like, you know, when you see guys like Keith, who's probably my idol, you're just mesmerized. You're not really even thinking, to be honest. Like when the Stones came last summer to Burles Creek, I for the first half of the show, I was just kind of laughing hysterically more than anything because I was just in such a, it was just, you know, it was just so cool to see them live. And I mean, you just see how comfortable they are when they perform and like they're just in their zone. They're just doing them, you know, as they've always done them. So you kind of learn to just to not think about it too much. Like I guarantee you, when Keith Richards walks on stage, he's not thinking about it too much. He goes on, he lights his butt, and he plays "Start Me Up," and that's it. You know, it's comfortable. It's a day job, another day in the office, kind of thing, right? So you learn to like not you know make a big deal out of doing what you're supposed to do, right?
It's funny. I was reading just about Keith Richards today. It's like, how come they don't name hospitals after people that are alive to give us some hope? Like, why don't they have like a Keith Richards Memorial Hospital? That guy will never die.
Yeah, yeah. No, I don't think it's any. He'll outlive us all. And listen, he's gone this long. I can't see him bowing out anytime soon.
He's well preserved.
He's well preserved. Yeah,
Exactly.
At least like maybe like like if it's not when, it's not a matter of when, it's not if he ever dies, they should definitely like get maybe his blood or his organs and put it in a museum and just have it, you know, people can check it out. And it's a specimen. It's fossils as far as I'm concerned. Put it in the ROM, the Royal Ontario Museum.
Now, some of the other musicians that you admire, like Angus Young and Gene Simmons, have this bigger than life personality, this almost like a character. Is that something you strive to imitate as a band, or are you guys on stage the real you?
I mean, you can't run away from the fact that you do change. You know, something changes when you start to play. That's a given. But it's never intentional. It's never like, okay, time to like. It's not like, okay, action, and then you cut into character. It's like you maybe you might act a certain way when you play.
It's the real us. It's not.
Yeah,
not really.
We don't think about it.
Yeah.
If we're any different on stage, it's just something that just happens naturally, and we can't do anything about it.
You're not in full makeup and like 12-inch heels.
No. We do wear heels sometimes.
Maybe Dave.
Maybe our bass player
loves Gene Simmons.
Yeah, our bass player actually is his favorite guy is Gene Simmons. So.
But no.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's not spitting the blood or spitting the fire out.
Not yet.
I always try to look for information on the origin of the name, and if I cannot find it, I ask the question. If I can find it on Wikipedia, I don't ask because everybody's heard it. But talk about Northern Rain. What was the origin of that name?
Honestly, we had like 100 names, not official names, but like
ideas.
We just put like a bunch of like words we like on a piece of paper, and we went through months and months of just trying to like figure out a name.
And I don't even think we liked Northern that much. I think it was just the best of what we kind of come up with at that point.
And it kind of fit, you know, Canada,
North, Rain, like
we
Rain,
the North,
like, you know, royalty in a sense, kind of like.
But I mean, Rain is a powerful word. It's about actually ruling over, you know, I would assume rock and roll.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly. Well, I mean, listen, if you see the North Rain logo, the logo you got there on the screen, I'm sure you would just assume that's a rock band, you know.
Yeah. Hey, when you have a lightning bolt, you know it's rock and roll.
Exactly.
You know it's electrifying.
So you guys could easily have been a two-piece outfit. I know at the beginning you mentioned that could have easily been you, but what was the tipping point to make you into a quartet and to get that band of four guys together?
We were always three. There was three of us always. Since even before North End was a band, we were going through we had gone through different lineups, and we were always together. Me, Nick, and our bass player Dave, and it was just a matter of finding the right vocalist and drummer, right? So we found our drummer Dan, and it was just like an immediate fit. Like this guy was just like, it was just perfect, just a sick drummer, right? And then we couldn't find a singer, so I kind of just said, you know what, like we're sick of looking, we want to play, and I'll just start singing. So then that's kind of how it happened. It was just by kind of being forced into it. And listen, you can say whatever we want, but we wouldn't be without every member of the band. We wouldn't be nowhere near. Yeah, nowhere near as good as.
And the bonus is he hasn't spontaneously exploded, so that's a bonus right there.
Well, who's supposed to spontaneously explode?
There's always a drummer that spontaneously explodes if you Spinal Tap.
For that to happen, actually.
Yeah.
So we'll keep our fingers crossed.
You guys recently did a social reset. Tell us why and what did you learn from the experience? Like, how has that helped the band?
A reset on socials?
Yeah.
You know what? We just kind of went through like a little like. Okay, here's the truth. We had no clue what we were doing before, and
right.
We are just like, if you put four guys and I don't know, just like four dumbasses in a band who just are good at their instruments and think playing live is like, that's all we're good at. That's what we were. We had no clue.
No direction.
No direction, the business end of things or anything else. So we finally, I guess, learned our lesson after, a couple years of being a band and not really moving in any direction. And we just got professional help. And
that's what she told us to do.
That's what they recommended to us. And it's working so far.
We're here. We're with you today. So I mean, it's almost right.
Well, what's interesting is that you're right. Social media is very important. That's the image of the band, and it has to be taken seriously.
For
And
sure.
it takes a lot of guts, a lot of courage to hit the delete button and say, no, no, we're going to do this with a purpose, and we're going
Yeah,
to
well, that's
continue.
true. That's true. I mean, we felt like we were backwards for a second, but we kind of stocked up on enough content that we knew in the end, in the long run, it would have been a good move. We would have progressed from that, and we did for sure.
So you've also worked with Brian Moncarts
Yeah,
from Our Lady Peace, the Through, Alice Cooper, the Tea Party.
yeah.
What do you bring to the table when producing your new songs?
Listen, he's just more. He's just as like-minded. He's such a like-minded guy in terms of what direction we want to go in with the songs. Like, and he's really raw. He understands like the rock and roll spirit and the attitude that comes with recording like a good rock song, good rock EP or record or
He
whatever.
brings them to life for sure.
He does. Like we're less is more, and he's very less is more. So we record live off the floor, right? We go in, record a live, vocals come after, whatever. Then he mixes it, he sends them back, and we say, Brian, this sounded exactly what we. This is exactly what we wanted to hear. And I mean, rightfully so, man. He's good at what he does, and he makes it easy for us. All we got to do is show up with a song and know how to play it, and that's what we do. We play it, and then the rest is up to him, and he does an amazing job.
I think we're very fortunate.
We're lucky, yeah, definitely, man. He's the man. He's the man, and he's so easy to work with. And you know what? He's a good. He does the role. He does his role really well because he's got a lot of good ideas, and he'll always pitch an idea. What about if you try this or how's that? He's a good fifth member in a sense
Yeah,
when it
and
comes
he
down to it.
genuinely likes the music, and which is
He
important.
cares.
Like,
He really cares. Yeah. So it's awesome. It's awesome, and the fact that you look at his back catalog and you show the cool people that Brian's worked with over the years,
It's inspiring.
it's inspiring, flattering, and it makes him more exciting.
Yeah, hey, it's Canadian royalty in a sense.
Yeah, he is for sure.
You have a new video coming out shortly called "Better Off."
Yeah.
So let's talk about the women in this video. So they seem to be empowered as they progress. They kind of start off as these fangirls to finally take over what it seems to be your identity and your band and your van. So what's the message behind the video?
Lock your van.
Lock your van. Keep an eye out for crazy fans.
And yeah.
Well, those I don't know.
There isn't much. Listen, man. I don't have too much to say. We just wanted to have something to catch people's eyes in the video. So, and you know what? The thing is too, they're pros at what they do. They did the job so well. They did exactly and more. They delivered more so than what we expected from them. And listen, we wanted just a cool video with a cool storyline. I mean,
we don't want the same old cheesy like, okay, let's get 4 hot girls and have them, like,
with a car, do a car wash.
Yeah, so let's just have them kidnap us and just take our place and like replace us.
And by the end, we want to be naked, and we were. And
we were.
I don't know if you saw the whole video. Right at the end of the video, we're kind of.
Well, to be quite honest, I was a little bit disappointed at first. I'm like, oh, okay, this is like the cheesy hot girls on screen. But the fact that you kind of put a twist on it made it okay. Well, at least they're empowered now. They're like taking on a deeper role of being in charge, and kind of a cool ending.
Yeah, we didn't want that cheesy, like, okay, let's get 4 hot girls, even though it's kind of what it is, but
it's exactly kind of what we wanted. That's exactly what we wanted.
We didn't want it to, yeah, but it's not like your typical.
I mean, you got the Me Too movement, but you also have to have a little bit of nostalgia for those old. Your music it's got that old time vibe of just pure rock and roll, and that was a part of rock and roll back then. Unfortunately, it kind of went south on a quit for quite a few people, unfortunately. But it's all about having fun, right? And not taking yourself too seriously.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Literally. And we think the video kind of, the fact that we get kidnapped and we get thrown in, we were tied up in our underwear in the end. I mean, we wanted to make sure that people knew that. They're like, okay, we do take it seriously. We do take the music seriously. But there's room. Yeah, but there's room where we do have a lot of fun. We do enjoy ourselves, and we just wanted to make sure we showed as much of that as possible. And we think it shows, man, for sure.
Yeah, and obviously, I think I've never seen you live, but I've heard through the grapevine that you put out a lot of energy. Seemed to be a lot of fun. I've seen a couple little clips of the videos that you have leaked to social media. So, what's it like being unable to play? Are you able to still get together as a band and jam?
Yeah, we've been doing that since the beginning, man. Since lockdown, we've we rehearsed like we've been steady. We've been absolutely steady, and we've written a lot of new songs. We actually recorded some new stuff even. So we haven't really slowed down in that sense. We kept the ball rolling the whole time. The only thing that we can't do is play live.
which sucks. But like we said before, it's kind of like it gave us a chance to work on the weaknesses that we said before, like the other side of it, as opposed to the music.
Yeah, yeah.
Not to be like any way, but I like the music. Like that's not really what we have to work on at all. Like it's more so the marketing, the social, like everything.
The stuff that this lockdown and quarantine given us time for. It may give us time to work on those things.
The stuff that separates a good band from just like another talented band.
Yeah, exactly. Like anybody can jam at any time of the year.
It was kind of a blessing, actually. Not really.
It kind of worked out.
It was bittersweet.
It might be a weeding out of the bands that are not taking it seriously or doing it for the wrong reasons. Like if you're a band that's only interested in feeding your ego, well, because you're not on stage, that ego is not getting fed. So you're just gonna shrivel up. But if you're doing it for the love of the music, then you're gonna keep trying to tweak it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you can see that. Like we follow and we're kind of like we're in touch with sort of on social media with all the sort of bands from Toronto in the loop, kind of doing the same thing we're kind of doing, trying to going for the thing, right? And you can just see the bands that are putting in the effort, bands are putting out the music, that are rehearsing, and then there's bands that you have, it's like, are those guys still alive? Like, what the hell happened to these guys? You know what I mean? And it just goes to show, and I mean, not every band, not every band has been able to go full steam ahead at this, this period of time or whatever. But at least, we've done our due diligence, we've done what we could, and we've kept very busy. There's always something to look forward to, always something to do. So there's no excuses really. I mean, if you haven't done anything, it's just, it's your lack of commitment as far as I'm concerned.
It comes down to, honestly, at this point, like for the last pandemic, it's like it put it to the test of like, if you really wanted to be a band, now is like the test, or you can just, it was so easy to just give it up.
If you can get through this, you can kind of get through pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Retest your like, I don't know.
Your durability.
Yeah.
That's even a word. I don't know what that means.
Let's end with the fun question. I've never asked this before, so let's try it out. You've heard of fantasy football, right?
Sure.
I want to do a fantasy rock band.
That's sick. I like that question.
Who would you pick to make a super group to reign not only the North but the whole world?
Global reign, you mean?
Yeah, global reign.
We need a name first. Earth reign.
Hey.
Okay, yeah. Okay, which we start.
I don't like that name, but we'll figure out the name.
Anyways,
The name's not important. The band makes the name anyway, so as long as it's a good band.
Can the people be dead, or like can we use dead people?
We'll revive them for the gig.
Okay.
I'd rather watch a live people jam anyway.
We'll do a live one and a dead one. How about that?
Sure. No, let's just do one of everybody. Okay.
There's too many. It's hard. Okay, yeah, you go.
Singer, frontman, David Lee Roth.
Okay. Live, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
Why David Lee Roth? He's the best frontman of all time, probably.
Yeah.
Charismatic. I saw him with the reboot of Van Halen at the Bell Center in Montreal, and he was like laughing the whole time, just giddy. Like you just feel his energy, that he's just having the best time of his life.
Yeah.
Where he belongs, man.
Yeah.
That guy is showbiz, man. That guy belongs on the stage.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's so entertaining.
Yeah, he's one of those guys where even as he ages, it's still kind of hard to keep your eyes off him for some reason.
I don't know.
A singer. Who else?
We'll go David Lee Roth. I think we can agree on.
Yeah, dressing. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Ozzy would be too. It's hard. That's the thing.
That's
it's hard
so
to
hard.
You're making this tough. But let's just go. Move on. David Lee Roth, guitar. Eddie Van Halen.
Singer Van Halen. No.
Bass player.
No, Slash. Slash for guitar.
guitar.
Slash is like our guy.
Well, so we can do two guitar players, Slash and Eddie.
Okay. Yeah.
Drums would probably be Bonham, maybe.
Bonham, probably.
I like Chad Smith from Chili Peppers.
Yeah, cool. Let's do
Bonham. Bass player, maybe Gene Simmons.
Gene Simmons, yeah.
No, it's gonna be a very like 70s, 80s rock style, like, which is pretty much the music you guys play.
That's perfect. That's exactly what we listen.
That would be ours.
If that band came to Toronto, I would go see that band.
I'd pay.
I'd pay money to go see that band. Okay.
Anyway, thanks for being on the show, and I really enjoyed talking to you, and I look forward to seeing you guys live. Come out to Montreal one of these days.
We'll let you know. Man. Thank you so much.